Hello and welcome back to Mzansi back again. It is that time of the night where we have to obviously go through this whole thing that is going on in court. So today Mngomezulu was a no-show.
Yeah.
And, the judge did not leave anyone untouched. Everyone caught the strays. Every one of them lawyers.
Everyone. Every black lawyer, be specific.
Yes.
Caught strays today. But you guys are unprofessional. You guys don't know ethics. But ethics.
Yeah.
And
this must be a man who feels that he is definitely not associated with those people. It's a funny thing because when we look at him, unless of course something might have happened in the olden days that he managed to change and eventually he is what he is today. And when you look at him, you might mistaken him for one of them blacks. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
He so badly wants to be this color.
The man has just said what he said, and
he badly wants to be a part of this community.
It will be very interesting to know what them people that have been defending him, them lawyers, what are they saying? Are they still thinking this man is the best thing that has ever happened in their law journey? Maybe they are learning more. I don't know.
Hi Shem, good evening. Hi, good evening.
So the man said what he said.
Yes.
We cannot dwell in it without starting the show. So Emily, let us properly start the show and hear what our people have to say eventually. Guys, greetings. Please make sure that you like the video, and after that, do what is necessary if you feel the need for others to watch this video by sharing this video. And we are here. We are here.
And we're totally relying on you guys to share the video.
Yes.
So press that like button.
Definitely.
We do not have a marketing team. You are the marketing team.
Yes.
So yes, the defense lawyer Thulani Mngomezulu did not make it in court this morning. Judge Ratha visibly was not happy. I mean, he said that from his understanding, Mngomezulu said that he needed time to prepare today for the cross-examination of the two witnesses. I thought he was done with those two witnesses. I thought everybody was done. I didn't know that Mngomezulu had asked for them to be recalled so that they come and be cross-examined by him again.
Did you?
I don't think he made that request, but that's how the judge is framing it. He said that Mngomezulu asked for more time to...
I think they were there because those confessions were admitted eventually. Because they were on a trial within a trial.
Yes.
He wouldn't have asked them to come back as if he was not there. He was there on a trial within a trial.
And he indicated that he doesn't have a problem if the witnesses go ahead and give evidence. He had arranged with one of the colleagues to stand in for him. The colleagues, that is where the tricky part came in. He was not going to take any issue with their evidence from what he told Advocate Baloyi. So the judge made a comment about black lawyers not taking the court serious. He asked, is this how black lawyers behave? Some of them.
This is a very nice gesture that you can show to your fellow brothers.
He said, how can you tell a judge that you are unable to proceed today because the two witnesses which you said were short witnesses? Okay. So I was like flabbergasted. I was shook at that comment. I couldn't believe what he was saying. So guys, what do you think? What are we supposed to make of that comment? And I'm especially going to talk to those who feel that we are being unreasonable, we don't know the law, wara, you wanna whine at the comment section about how we don't know the law, since you know it very well. I mean, maybe you are a black lawyer and you go around leaving such comments on people that do not approve of such.
Well, one must say that the man really blundered. There is nothing to say. We cannot say some of the things that we wish we could say here. Obviously, these platforms, they are very sensitive. So we have to say what we have to say. But if you want to understand what this man is, in my own thinking, I think you would have to follow the reasoning of Biko as you read. And there are many others that called this type of people out. Because in your right mind, you cannot make such statement.
No, especially as a judge, especially as a black judge yourself. We know that in the democratic society, a lot of things are happening and everything. But it's unfair to put corruption and give it the color black. It's very unfair. It's not fair.
I don't even want to go there because I don't know where to stop.
So Baloyi said that he was present when they testified, and the judge reminded everyone of the comment that he made when he said that he knows all the tricks. Yes, there's a comment that he made yesterday that he knew all the tricks. Not yesterday, on Monday, while Advocate Mngomezulu was asking for not to appear on Tuesday because he had another matter to attend to. But he said he knows all the tricks. So that was the shade that he was throwing in there to kind of make Mngomezulu be thrown off or something. I don't understand what was the MO there, because we all know that Mngomezulu is currently facing the NPA with his GBV case, and I'm assuming that that's what he's currently dealing with. And maybe he doesn't want to get into the nitty-gritties and details of it, and the judge here is asking for personal contact details. He wants to be informed about the situation of Mngomezulu by Mngomezulu himself. But he did indicate on Monday that he was not going to be able to make it on Tuesday. And it seems like the matter that he was attending, we don't know whether it's the GPV case or it's something else, it fell over into today as well. So he indicated that he is seized with other matters, and that he appeared on Wednesday. So Baloyi said that he put it on record. It seems Mngomezulu did put it on record, and somehow the judge missed it. I don't know. I don't remember what happened on Monday, but I do remember him kind of trying to get up to explain, and the judge said, I know all the tricks, and then he kind of caved in. I mean, what do you do when you're intimidated by that? That's what I remember on Monday.
Yeah.
So what do you do before you start explaining yourself that, you know what, I'm not going to be able to make it tomorrow? The judge says, I know all the tricks. What are you going to do?
If you ask me what this is turning out to be, it is turning out to be a way out for Mngomezulu. Eventually, you might expect some reports, someone being reported for being unprofessional and all those things.
It sounded like a smear campaign.
It sounded like it. It does sound like a smear campaign. And a man who speak and shout so much without a man being present, what kind of a man is that? Because all you are supposed to do is to wait for this man and make your comments as you want to make them. So now you make them on TV. You end up saying things such as the ones that you said now, that our black lawyers are not competitive in a sense. They're not competent, sorry. And in a sense. That is what you were saying.
Hi. Yeah, he is still seized with other matters, and it ran over from yesterday till today. So yeah, it seems it's a very serious matter that he's attending. So the judge asked why he doesn't
he's
phone
making
him.
noise about it so much.
Yes.
I would understand Mngomezulu's angle. It seems as if who's this guy who always stands for others? Ngomalo's.
Munyeki, advocate
He,
Munyeki.
was he there in court today?
I did not pay attention.
Maybe he would have used him.
Perhaps.
But
Like
that's why
did.
maybe the reason why he called Mshololo, because that guy works with Mshololo.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And then maybe when Mshololo said, that's the thing. When someone is not here, the story will not be fully told the way that person actually handled the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But what we saw today is it's scary, to say the least, because we saw lawyers who were very happy to pull the trigger, if you ask me. This is my opinion, obviously. They were very excited to put him under the bus.
Wow.
Especially Ramosepele.
You said it.
Especially Ramosepele. This is my opinion. That's what I saw. Kuthi kancane kancane uyavela. Bayavela kancane kancane. There's only one man that stood to actually try to put dignity to Mngomezulu. Was Mnisi.
Someone had to say it. The judge asked why Mngomezulu didn't phone him. And he said, this is what counsel or an attorney who has ethical standards does. You know, blatantly putting it that Mngomezulu does not have any ethics or ethical
So you are being
standards.
attacked and you are not present.
And you're not there. And he says, I get the message through my register. He got the message through his register.
What was that wrong?
I don't know.
Isn't it the register is the one that you liaise with if you want to, and isn't that best practice, because you don't want to have a direct contact with the judge.
So the attorney himself does not phone the judge, and the judge must smile because he's black. Today on a shame, black people were catching strays in Ratha's court today. Yeah, and I kept asking myself, I'm like, okay, because you're black, how, when you have become a wolf every time he defends his clients, how, when you asked and you actually made those remarks that you know all the tricks, how was he supposed to then stand up and say, I might not make it for the rest of the week? Were you going to take it? I don't think so.
No.
So the judge said, and when the JP told me that I must take this case, he told me that this matter has problems and I agreed to take it. So I must do the same thing, inherit the problems that happened before I sat here and associate myself with those problems where counsel tells you, you can go to hell, judge. I'm not coming today. I'm coming tomorrow because the matter I was handling on Tuesday overstepped the limit. You can go home. Well, my point of view, I feel like he was saying this with reference to what is happening to the previous presiding officer, Umela. But I digress. It felt like it was a backhanded type of shade. Baloyi said that Mngomezulu would have to come and explain himself. He said that he was not doing his bidding. He will explain himself. So the judge asked what happened if he doesn't return, and he said that it will impact on his client. So the state was ready to proceed, and the judge asked Ramosepele. By the way, he's still calling him Ramosepele.
Yeah, it's okay.
Sipho Ramosepele said he was informed by advocate Zandile Mshololo that Mngomezulu asked him to stand in for him. And he said that he indicated that in the light of experience that he has had, he is in no position to stand in for him because he will be conflicted in that instance. Come on now. What is this? Not so long ago, Advocate Mnyeki was standing in for Advocate Mnisi, and it was not a problem. Mshololo allowed it.
I think they were saying in line that this Ramosepele was perceived as fired. I don't know who came with that thing. And him, Ramosepele,
he's now
when he was defending, also entering on the terrace of accused one, he was saying is unfireable.
Now today he's
since when now, Ramosepele, you are
fired?
You are conflicted. Since when now, when on your arguments, you did touch on the things of accused number one when you were dealing with your heads of arguments.
Mm-hmm.
How now are you conflicted?
It was very confusing what happened today for me personally, because Ramosepele, who has been working with
you said you are
Mngomezulu,
unfireable,
now does not want to brief him over what happened in court. It's very simple, to brief Mngomezulu about what happened in court. It's not.
We could have saved Mngomezulu's skin. They could have saved Mngomezulu's skin. And you know what the funny thing is? Mngomezulu's defense for accused number 2 is still unchanged. Mm-hmm. Nothing has changed. You could swear that they are still representing both of them. Yes. Up until today.
That Ramosepele disassociates himself from representing accused number 1. We're not saying that he should represent him. We're just saying brief Mngomezulu about what happened in court.
And that's what you ask for.
That's all you were asked.
A simple thing, listening. How can you be conflicted from listening?
Listening and giving him what you got and what you received from your listening. That's all. Mnyeki has been doing it for Advocate Mshololo. He's been doing it for Mnisi. I don't remember Mnisi standing up and saying that, he doesn't, he would like for the matter to stand down because he will not make it to court.
It's like this judge is saying this thing has never happened. It has happened. Where he's briefed in the morning that, my lord, I will be standing for Mnisi. Wara.
Yes, without them announcing that they will not be present on the following day. Even Advocate Mshololo has done it quite often, where she just doesn't show up and she sends somebody to come in and represent her. And that person, they introduce themselves in the morning to say, I'm standing in for Advocate so and so. You understand? It happens. And now today he was making it such a huge, big deal because it's Mngomezulu.
But you know what?
With a situation that I don't think he has control of.
You know what? I think it was a good thing. Because we needed to see for ourselves some of these things.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that Mngomezulu did not come.
So this is so strange. I don't know what has possessed Ramosepele this time around. He's starting to look dodgy in my opinion. And, is he mad that Mngomezulu took over his client?
I don't know.
Number 1?
Does the money reduce from the legal aid?
Money reduce from the legal aid?
I don't know.
It's giving very much you are frustrated.
Those are questions that we have to ask.
That you are pissed that
at some point you were not even present in court yourself. Mngomezulu had to deal with the issues alone when he was representing both these clients while you were the one who actually
did not show up.
Called him.
You know what? This is actually scaring me as well. The emotional aspect of Ramosepele and how he's choosing to go about this. Bongani Ntanzi is not. Is accused number 2. You need an emotionally stable lawyer.
When did I hear
You need someone.
When did I hear Tifo? Was it Tifo who was saying that he asked for these people, the defense to the accused to drop the defense?
Oh yes, sometime last year there was a time he appeared in court and he actually asked for them. It was a rumor at the time, and I couldn't report it with confidence because I had gotten it from somewhere as a rumor to say that the last time he showed up in the court, and he was kind of trying to talk to the accused. He was telling them to drop.
Was it reported in court, right?
It wasn't reported in court. It was reported in the media by some sources. It wasn't even in mainstream media.
Yes.
It ran like an allegation, so we're going to report it as such. But at that time, there were reports coming from those who were closer to the situation to say that Advocate Tifo was there to actually tell accused number one and to, I think all of them, to change their lawyers. And at the time, Ramosepele was there.
Yes.
And people were like, why? How? Why? Ungenapi? And I also saw that the accused did not listen to him. They decided to continue with the legal representative that they
Something is not right about that formation, if you ask me, in my own opinion. Something is, I've been calling it. Some of the things I've been calling it. Something does not sit well. Not only starting now. Something is not right. Something does not make sense. And some of these things are now kind of coming into light. Slowly but surely, because 2024 is a year of expose. It just has that element that it will expose the hidden things.
The bad, awful things that
Something is not right. And you look at maybe accuse 4, accuse 5, and then bit of 3. But 3 is also is in between, is either
neutral.
You're not sure he's getting in, he's getting out, but he's in. Those people, what exactly are they there for?
Which people? The lawyers.
4, 5. What are they there for? Because one can argue and say, you couldn't have charged Mapisa on the basis of confessions.
Yes, but why are they there?
And now, at some point, maybe because the lawyers were participating more, it did not seem as if they are not part of that team. But slowly, their participation is being phased out. And eventually, it seems as if it's going to lead to being acquitted for this case. Now, one wonders, it started with the NPA dropping the so-called confessions that they could have made, or the statements that they have made. Now, and they were called statements as such.
They were called statements.
Which is totally different from what
confessions.
Accused number 1 and accused number 2 is.
Yes.
But it will be a blunder for someone who's representing accused number 1 to separate accused number 1 and 2. It will be a huge blunder. You can't separate those two because seemingly this case is centered around them. So for you to think that you are a loner, let us take, for example...
And you will run the race, and then you must figure pambili, now you start stuttering and stuff. No, man, Ramosepele.
Let us take the example. Let us take the example. Can I submit?
Submit.
Can I submit?
Submit.
Today, for example, it was pertaining accused number 2. Accused number 2, ne?
Accused number 2 and 1.
And 1.
Accused number 2 in terms of the interpreter that was there with Miss Grenier, and accused number 1 in terms of the pointing out the photographer, the person who was photographing accused number 1 as he was pointing out at the Spaza house.
So it was accused number 1 that they were talking about, not who didn't answer point with.
It's not Ntanzi who did the pointing out. It's Sibiya, accused number 1.
So Ntanzi never made any pointing?
No.
He never went to Fosloras?
No.
There's
no information of such in the court, no. It's only the confessions with Ntanzi. The first confession and the second confession.
Let us take, for example, that story. Accused number 1 does not implicate Ntanzi.
No.
But accused number 2 implicates accused number 1 on his on so-called confession.
Yes.
And when people are brought in that court to come and testify, they make assertions that are seemingly saying certain things. For example, that so-called interpreter, she said something very serious and she reversed it. Mm-hmm. And because, for me, Ramosepele does not have that thing of pursuing such.
He went at it like a teddy bear.
Do you understand?
When he needed to be like a shark.
Yes. That woman says that statement was given to the investigating office.
What investigating officer?
Do you understand? Now, and then she says maybe when Balo is trying now to deal with that, reverse that situation. Because what we were told is that statement, it went through to the senior magistrate, right?
Yes.
To then the so-called investigator, which is what, Kinini?
Yes. But then Grenier said she did not hand it over. She handed it over to her senior.
Do you understand?
PC. So now when the interpreter says that it was handed over to the investigating officer.
And then Balo starts, and then it moves back now to, I'm not sure.
No, then she is sure.
Yes. The question is, why are you here?
She is sure because that is a whole different ballgame.
Why are you here? That's a question I would have asked. Why are you here? If you are not sure about what you are here to testify about. You say something
you are sure
like...
about everything. You're sure about...
You say you are sure about everything.
You're sure about everything else, but
you're not sure. But when it comes to the statement, you are not sure as to where it went.
When you are the last person that was in that room with Miss Grenier, you're not sure what happened to the statement as soon as Ntanzi was done taking it. You are not sure.
And then after realizing that she made a blunder, she reverses it as to, I'm not sure. So you are sure about everything. Ramosepele did not highlight that properly.
No, he did not. He went at it like a teddy bear.
He asked a question like, please clarify this, okay?
He was helping Miss Motlaping clarify the
That's
statement
how it
that
looked
she
like.
made.
That's how it looked like.
Of course, I'm going to get into it later to demonstrate it of what we're trying to say.
Someone makes such things while Ntanzi said the statement was actually, it appeared as they were going back. And someone actually talks about that as it was given to an investigator. And then you let that slide.
And Ntanzi saying the investigator was there. They got out of a white BMW and they told me to sign.
And then you let that slide like that. Boom. Gone.
As I was getting tortured in the dumping site.
It's either you do not have energy to represent your client,
or you actually want them to go down.
Or you actually want them to go down.
Which one is it, Ramosepele?
I mean, we are watching here, we are checking. And obviously, we are not saying that is what you want to do. No. We are making two assumptions.
We are asking.
And
it's
we are
a valid
asking a question
after seeing how you behave.
And we've been calling this thing out. You never have a punch It's like you.
I try to call it out. I'm like, he doesn't finish. He doesn't finish properly. He's supposed to say, I put it to you or something at the end to put it on the record. So that when it comes to arguments, he's working with something solid. So now in the argument, he wants to put it and to be fighting. That's too late. Today was an example of my problem with Ramosepele. I've been having that problem for a very long time. It's just that I couldn't articulate it properly. But he doesn't finish. He doesn't hammer. You see how Nisi hammered with a Mapakela. You hammer like that.
And he created doubts.
Close.
He created doubts
exactly.
without finishing, without saying it out loud. But he created doubts on a basis that where I think maybe he might have left it is how they got in there. When they got in there, he said he was following that so-called van.
Yes.
What happened? Narrate what happened. For you to eventually get there. Did you stop anywhere? Was there anywhere where you stopped? Did you not stop because accused number one said, take me, eventually, bring that question. Said, take me and put me closer to Force Loras. Then once I'm there, I'll be able to point.
He didn't mention any of that. He's saying that we got the directions from Hadebe. Colonel Hadebe, who was saying he did not know where he was going.
So this man was just following.
Mapakela was getting instructions of where to go.
Did you stop anywhere to get proper direction?
That would be another question that perhaps could have been added. Manje ngobo Ramosepele has somehow
and guess
shifted
what?
And he's focused on, I'm only going to cross-examine
and guess what?
concerning my client.
Guess
you
what?
are missing opportunities.
Yeah, continue.
Guess what? You wanted to
I
say
lost
something.
the train of thought.
Okay, my apologies. So he didn't know which other colleague was requested to stand in for him, and he never contacted him personally. So the judge was startled by this, and the judge asked Ramosepele if ethics are still taught in university or when they're doing pupillage or articles. And Ramosepele said it is one of the emphasis that are out at PLT, and all this course that their interaction with the court and their duty towards the court as practitioners, it's taught, it is well stressed. So the judge said, look at what you are telling me. He calls Advocate Mshololo to tell you to stand in for him. He doesn't phone the court. This is Africa. The judge is irrelevant. So he wants to be worshipped. He wants the lawyers to worship the ground that he walks in. So they're not giving him that, and he's upset. Ramosepele said, even us in court here, this is how Ramosepele was throwing Mngomezulu under the bus. Let me unpack it. This is what he said. Even us in court here, when we want to see the judge, we go through the register. We don't do as we please, my lord. Doesn't that sound like a teacher's pet?
And the funny thing is that the register is the one who told the judge, what is wrong with that? What is different from that?
But he's making it sound like, what Mngomezulu did is wrong. Like,
so they wanted Mngomezulu to go direct.
Yo, Ramosepele shook at me today, guys. I haven't recovered. I'm still upset. I'm like, what is going on with this man? Like, what is happening? I wasn't expecting him to act like this. He was literally throwing Mngomezulu under the bus. Okay? He was. And somehow Mngomezulu, I feel, in my opinion, which I'll be the devil's advocate here to say that perhaps he needs to take some accountability. I mean, maybe, communicate with the judge direct if that's what they want. Perhaps this is what he should have done. Called him, send him a WhatsApp or something. I don't know. So, especially considering the fact that it's still a question mark on whether he was able to get through to Ramosepele. Now, I have that question personally too, because Ramosepele is saying he did not contact me. Now, okay, I get Ramosepele saying he did not contact him, but what if he was uncontactable? Because how he's behaving is giving me that thing that maybe they've got beef that we are not aware of. You understand? So what if perhaps Mngomezulu tried to contact him and he couldn't get a hold of him, and that's how he ended up calling Mshololo?
The question here remains to be seen. What is the family of accused number one seeing to such an extent that they would say, Mngomezulu, we want you to stay in this case? That's a question that Ramosepele should be asking himself as a lawyer. And now you are left with one person that you need to represent, and then you still behave the same way. That, in my own opinion, is not showing the signs of a finisher. And considering the judge that is in front of you, who really, I don't know, needs to be persuaded, I don't know how, but at least persuade us as people who are watching you. At least. That's all you can do. That's what Mngomezulu does. Mngomezulu argues to such an extent that a judge laughs at him, makes a mockery of him. Do you understand?
But
because the judge is so smart. Do you understand? But we understand.
He keeps going. He's
keeps
not
going.
phased though.
So the feeling, I would have done the same thing if I had money and I was the family of accused number one. I would have done that. I would have said, okay, I really need this man. He seems to be having a bit of an itch and a fight. Not this thing of having a conversation with the judge such that you eventually forget what you need to say and always withdraws when you need to. Always when the judge is going high,
withdraws a lot.
Like, I withdraw, my lord.
He doesn't want to argue. He's the withdrawer.
Where is that helping you? Because today we see you in a light of being that kid from grade R who's always in the face of a teacher.
I'm disappointed.
You know, being called many times by the judge does not, a retired judge for that matter.
A retired judge.
Where is that going to help you in the long run?
He's retired. I don't understand why the fear.
And you know, you have heard that we are not going to use this retired judge anymore. We'll pay them now only.
And we'll use experienced lawyers. I like that direction. I like it. So the judge said yes, because if he had phoned me, I wouldn't have driven from Krugersdorp to come here when he says he doesn't have a problem with the evidence which was adduced by the photographer and the interpreter, and that he hasn't consulted with the witness that Mr. Baloi wants to engage. I would have phoned the DJP, which is the Deputy Judge President, to phone another judge to come here and explain this to you and postpone the matter to the pleasure of Mr. Mngomezulu. And in the meantime, I'd be doing some work going through the evidence of this case of 8 months. He says, now I drive like a fool from Krugersdorp. I come here and I'm told this by you and by my register. That is slandering of Mngomezulu.
Wasn't this his part of the job?
It is, but he would have preferred not to come. Okay, if he knew that Mngomezulu was not coming. He preferred to not have come and to sit.
They continued, didn't they continue?
They did continue.
So where is the harm?
And he also, and I know people, maybe those who are still fans of Mr. Ramosepele, but all of this could have been avoided. This slandering, this whole talking of nonsense, it could have been avoided if he just said, I will stand in for Mr. Mngomezulu, I will brief him of what happens today. You know, one simple sentence from Ramosepele could have solved all of these things. And the attorney and advocate involved doesn't even phone me, the judge said. You know, today you can even send an SMS, and if he doesn't want to speak to me, he can send an SMS or a WhatsApp. And Ramosepele said, yes, my lord. You know, like he was enjoying what was happening, you know. And the judge asked Mr. Mnisi for his view, and Mnisi said that it's not like there is nothing that they can't do. What he's gathering from Mr. Baloyi is that Mr. Mngomezulu said that he would have not had any issues with regards to the two witnesses that Mr. Baloyi had today, and he suggested that they proceed with those two witnesses. Then he will explain himself as to why he did not attend court today. And Mngomezulu said that if there is anyone who was contacted to stand in for Mr. Mngomezulu, then they could proceed. Mshololo said that at 9:30 in the morning, while she was sitting in court,
doesn't that remind you when our caller said, you know, I have a problem. Since that day, I've had to take most of the things about Mshololo with a pinch of salt. Why? You remember the day when the news were about to be kicked out?
The news, yes, I remember.
You remember how helpful Mshololo was?
Yeah, she was like, even the accused, their faces have been shown. Their faces have been... she was fighting for the media to be kicked out as well.
And that today reminded me that.
She was also fighting for the media to be kicked out. I was like, no biggie. Maybe she just doesn't like cameras. Maybe she's camera shy. But with all this information coming out, it's too much of a coincidence.
She's not camera shy.
It's too much of a coincidence.
Because she's in cases that requires cameras.
Yes, all of them. And now that I've seen that she's even with the former state president's cases. Okay, some of them she's there in the courts, and she's also in some of the cases that have to do with the Royal Zulu House.
It's unfortunate. I wish Mngomezulu had enough money to bring maybe one junior attorney to stand for him so that he can read for him. Because I know that the reason why he would rely more on Mngomezulu's side, on Ramosepele's side, is because he reads for him. So it's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. Well, Mshololo said that she did receive a call from Mngomezulu, and he said that they could proceed with the two witnesses, which is the photographer and the interpreter, and he was requesting that any further witness to that, they should ask that the matter be postponed for him to be present. Mshololo said that he was not saying that to the court. He was just merely informing her, you know, that he had made the arrangements with the state regarding that. But then the judge was like, no, but he said that Ramosepele needs to stand in for his client. The judge was struggling to understand that, and he said Mr. Mngomezulu said he was instructed by accused number one's uncle. Now today the same Mr. Mngomezulu wants Ramosepele, whose mandate has been terminated, to act on behalf of accused number one.
It's like they are also, you know, this thing of behaving like kids, all of them. What is the problem if the mandate of Ramosepele has been terminated? Where does the judge feature in this? Why do you have a problem? Why do you keep on hammering on that? It's like, did we disturb the process? Did that termination disturb? Because honestly speaking, there's one man who's fighting there.
And he said, that's why I'm asking, are ethics taught? Now, this would take me back to a time that the judge was putting it on record that accused number 1 was firing Ramosepele because the reason why Mngomezulu is still around is because of accused number 1's uncle who offered to pay when legal aid refused to pay Mr. Mngomezulu. So all this time he was assisting Ramosepele and not getting paid. And Ramosepele blamed the legal aid even though he was getting paid or legal aid for 2 clients. So I don't know.
Is that on record?
It's not on record, but you are telling me that Ramosepele was not getting paid as well. Is that what this is about?
So let's say allegedly.
Allegedly. So in my speculation, I'm thinking of it that way, that, you know, he had 2 clients. Legal aid wasn't paying for those 2 clients. And when he called Mr. Mngomezulu, how was that going to work, the payment arrangement? Was legal aid expected to extract more funds to pay Mr. Mngomezulu, or was he, Mr. Ramosepele, supposed to take a portion and give it to Mngomezulu? How was it supposed to work? Because now we are in this situation and Ramosepele seems upset. He's acting like Mngomezulu stole his client.
If you think about it, a person who's more in trouble in those 5 accused actually is Ntans.
It is.
Accused number 1, the confession of accused number 1 can be just nullified, if you ask me. He talked about 3 people who are not here, who are not even part of this.
The case.
He throws even a big spin by saying that the gun was sold somewhere. So which gun is this one? And there was only 1 gun when
that
they
is
went
being
in.
Testified in court.
So
maybe that is why they said to Titi, give me Ntans.
They allegedly said that. Yes.
Allegedly.
Yes. So I'm surprised. Mngomezulu is assisting this man, even though now he's not mandated to do so. He's assisting Ntans. Because honestly speaking, when you look at how between the two, I would bet on Mngomezulu if I was accused. Between the two. At this point in time, I would bet on Mngomezulu.
Well, the judge asked, how do you act for someone who has fired you, like Mr. Ramosepele, and what would that person say? For Mr. Sibia, it is a joke, this court. And Nkosi Kantolo, uzothi nimqoshile lo muntu manje nangu ummele, insinuating what was happening with the testimony of accused number 2 with regards to Mjiako, in my opinion. That, you know what, he was now denying a lawyer that he said he had hired. And now the same thing will be happening with accused number 1 with regards to Ramosepele, while he's merely being asked to just listen and then brief Mr. Mngomezulu. That's all. They're not saying represent the client. You know, it was very awkward for me that I've seen this happen before, and now we're going to act like what is happening is brand new. It was just too much. So the judge asked accused number 1, Umuzi Sibia, to stand up, and he asked him if he contacted the advocate or if the advocate contacted him, my apologies. And Moses Bia said that no, he doesn't have access to a phone. So I'm also surprised that he did not ask accused number 1 if he has a problem with Ramosepele listening in for his lawyer. You know, I was expecting him to ask that question, but I guess he kind of felt like there's no need when he said he hadn't contacted him. So could all this ranting, could it be part of, you know, something that maybe we are missing? The proceedings continued, however, and the state called Ms. Mtlaping, Evelyn Tepiso Mtlaping, who was the interpreter for Magistrate Vivian Grenier, accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi's alleged second confession on the 24th of June 2020. She interpreted Ntanzi's Zulu statement into English. That's what she said. And she underwent examination in chief with Advocate Baloy. She placed the contents of the certificate to read to the record, which was a sworn statement at the beginning of the statement saying that she interpreted correctly according to her understanding. She signed and confirmed the initials of Ntanzi, Ms. Cronje, as well as hers. This is pretty much a repetition that happened with the trial within a trial. And she read the statement is made in Zulu and interpreted to English by the interpreter. She also confirmed the initials on the rest of the 6 pages that Ntanzi alleged that he initialed in the damping area. She read the part where the statement was read back and the deponent said yes to confirming that everything that was written was correct. The deponent also signed. And let's not forget that Ntanzi said that he was under the impression that he was signing to get a bath and to call his family. Motlaping said she handed the deponent a pen to sign, and she says the statement was done in Ms. Cronje's office. Baloyi asked, information in annexure JJ1, where does it come from? And Motlaping said from deponent, which was Ntanzi. And at the end of the process, she says that the exhibits were stopped or stapled together, and if her memory serves her well, it was handed to the investigating officer at the time, and she cannot recall. The investigating officer for this case is Brigadier Kininda. So this means that she might have seen the investigating officer. Question mark, question mark, question mark. So Baloyi had to quickly jump in there, and told her that, I mean immediately after the proceedings, what happened to the document? Who retained the document? And Motlaping was now found wondering, I cannot recall precisely, but and the my point of view, or rather my speculation, the fact that she does not remember what happened to the documents after Ntanzi signed is a major red flag, in my opinion. So Baloyi said, if you can't recall, then it's fine. And he was done. But that right there, then Ramosepele cross-examined, and he asked, now you've just been asked a question by my learned friend Advocate Baloyi to say that after the completion of the process, what happened to the exhibit, the statement, and you say it was handed back to the investigating officer. She became all defensive now. Her voice became stern, in my opinion. And the fact that she became defensive is my opinion, okay? And she said, I think, because I cannot recall clearly, sir. Ramosepele said, you cut me off there because I wanted to ask how certain are you about that? And Motlaping said, I'm not certain, sir. Hence I said, I cannot recall precisely. And the person that you referred to as the investigating officer is the person that brought accused number 2 to the office of Ms. Cronje. You'll remember it was Sergeant Mogani. Do you still recall that? And Motlaping said, I know the person who brought the accused to Ms. Cronje's office. It was Sergeant Mogani. And this is where I felt let down by Ramosepele's cross-examination. Exactly here. Why must you now help her remember that it was Sergeant Mogani? That's not your job.
That's now I was asking myself, what kind of questioning is this?
Why must you assist her?
Are we reminding people here now?
Can't the defense lawyer kukwenzakalani?
I mean,
if my life is on the line and I hear my defense attorney doing that nonsense, you are fired.
I know you are fired. If you do that,
I'm going to jail. Why are you doing that? Why are you giving clues to the person that maybe they may have seen Mogani and they assumed that Mogani, literally he was leading her into that direction to say, I thought Mogani was the investigating officer. Hi man, Ramosepele, we can do better than this. Then Mogani said yes, it would be interesting, not Mogani, my apologies. She said yes, it would be interesting also to know where she knows Sergeant Mogani from in my question mark. I would like to know where she knows Sergeant Mogani from. Because if a police officer, Mr. Anonymous, she's there, she's interpreting, listen to the scenario here. She's there, she's hired as an interpreter. The police officers, they've come and accompanied Ntanzi. And then she's the first one to testify and refer to Mjiako as the gentleman in a suit. Do you guys remember that? So now she's specific to say that the police officer is Mohani. Now, how do you know Mohani? That's another question I wish that would have been added. Where do you know Sergeant Mohani from?
Do you know? No, the question would have been, do you know the investigating officer? Since you said you think it was given to an investigating officer.
That'll be interesting because the way she was agreeing with Ramosepele here about it being Mohani, and I was like, okay, so now you know Mohani. You are a court interpreter. How do you know Mohani? So Ramosepele then said, after the proceeding, who removed accused number 2 from the office? And Motlaping said because there were other police officers that were outside the office, it could have been them. He said, I cannot recall it clearly who removed him. So she can't remember who removed him, but she remembers Mohani. Interesting. So there's definitely something there. Because if Ntanzi said that he walked out, then it means he was not there when Krunye was handing over that statement. And the interpreter was there. So Mngomezulu and Mshololo had no further questions and Motlaping was done. The next state witness that was called was Sergeant Matsubani H. Mapakela, who was a photographer at accused number 1, Muzisibia's alleged pointings out. So he testified in the trial within a trial, and he's stationed at the Germiston Criminal Record as an official draftsman and photographer. So Baloyi asked him, I want to show you exhibit GG. Do you recognize it? And Mapakela said yes. Mapakela confirmed that he was the photographer for the alleged pointings out of accused number 1, Muzisibia. And Baloyi asked him, are these the photos you took at the scene? And Mapakela said yes. Asked if he can confirm the correctness of the photos 12 to 17 and 18 to 21. Mapakela confirmed them. And on 2020 June the 5th, Mapakela said that the time on the statement is the time that he arrived at Alberton police station around 11:30, and then later on he was saying it was around 2 o'clock. So I don't know which time is which, because he mentioned 2 times. So 2 time sets. So I don't know which time exactly is the one that was written on the statement and the one that he said needed to be corrected. So he said he went to the address. So he took photos of the pointed scene, and someone was asking Mr. Anonymous, why is Baloyi not speaking Spedi? Because he was speaking Afrikaans leading Miss Krunye. I laughed when I saw that comment. But why is he not leading him in Sepedi? Oh my God, that was so funny. So Baloyi took him through the photos, and he said Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe mentioned that the time you returned was 1:30 after checking. And I asked myself, what is the relevance of the question? But I will wait. And then he said, thank you, that's all. So it was kind of awkward. Ramosepele had no questions. You know why he did not have any questions? In my opinion, because it did not affect accused number 2. Yeah, this is where we are. Ramosepele had no further questions. So Advocate Mnisi is the one who decided to ask Wama Umnisi and why
he was getting
paid.
Ramosepele, if he was getting paid, was he getting paid for both customers?
He should have been.
And why didn't he share the other part with Mngomezulu?
Or maybe it's illegal, I don't know. But now I'm asking myself the question. I mean, he could have easily taken one for one client and paid Mngomezulu. He's the one who called Mngomezulu, right? He's the one. When he was drowning there, the trial within a trial. They were coming like a thunder. And then he came with Mngomezulu. So why not share what you were getting from legal aid with him? That is the question I have as well. That, okay, legal aid was never going to pay 2 lawyers. Yeah, but it was never going to do that. Even if I were to blame them, I don't think they would. I don't see it happening. So, and legal aid, when they started funding Ramosepele for the 2 accused, they did not see or foresee that Ramosepele was going to now recruit another lawyer. So it is his part. He's the one who got Mngomezulu onto the case. And legal aid decided not to pay him. So maybe the legal minds can explain this process to us, because it's quite clear we don't understand what's happening. So what time did you arrive at the place is what Mnisi asked Maphakela, and he said he's not quite sure. He said that he was not sure of the time that he wrote. Perhaps this time was not even written immediately after or during the pointing out, in my opinion. After all, they don't use pocketbooks anymore. So Mnisi then asked, how did you manage to get to that place? And Maphakela said that he was following the Toyota on the photo behind it. And Mnisi asked if there were only 2 cars. And Maphakela said that he's not sure, but he was focused on the car that he was following. So he said, others, I did not notice them. So this should not be difficult, considering the fact that they stopped at the Spaza house. I mean, after stopping, how many cars were parked there? That's a question I have. I mean, why can't you notice the cars that were there? Why were you only noticing the Toyota? I mean, after you stopped at the pointing out place, you mean to tell us that it's only your car and the car of the Toyota that you were following that stopped there? Then Nisi asked him, you told the court that you ultimately went and stopped opposite the Spaza house. Is that so? And Maphakela said that's correct. And I used Spaza house. Nisi used the full address, guys. I couldn't take the full address down again. I am tired. So, it's me referring it to the Spaza house. You know which house I'm talking about. Then Nisi said, how did you know that the house at which you stopped at or stopped opposite to was the correct one? And Maphakela said that he was speaking to Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe, and he is the one who told him. Okay. And Nisi asked, is that what he told you? That is the house we are standing at, is this one? And Maphakela said, that's correct. So Mnisi said, Mr. Hadebe, when he gave his testimony on Monday, if my memory serves me well, he specifically told the court that there's no address there. Now you are telling this court that there was no address there. Now you're telling this court that the information that you specifically got from Mr. Hadebe, is that not so? And Maphakela said, that's correct. So Mnisi asked him, so in other words, what Mr. Hadebe told this court on Monday, based on what you just told this court now, is that the place did not even have an address. That was not true. And Maphakela said, I will not be able to respond on that. There is something there. When you reach them to a point where they're saying, I will not be able to respond to that, there is something there. Then Mnisi said that's all he wanted to verify. Zandile Mshololo had no further questions, and Baloyi also had no re-exam, and Maphakela was done. And Baloyi said that as he had spoken, the commencement of the proceedings in the absence of Mr. Mngomezulu, they are constrained to ask that the matter stand down until such time that until Mngomezulu is available. And the judge asked until what time? Until Mandela is resurrected. Baloyi said that Mngomezulu indicated that he will be available on Friday. And tomorrow is a holiday, so Baloyi said that they agreed to stand down until Monday. The term ends on Wednesday, and there's only one witness the state intends to call before the end of the term, whereafter they will revert to the evidence of Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, the ballistic expert. The defense indicated that they needed time during the recess to consult their expert. So Mnisi said that he sees no reason why they can't stand on Friday. He sees no reason why, in the interest of justice, that they sit on Friday. The state has all the resources. I mean, he said that they have more than 5 cars that are parked outside the court so they can clear the road. Those witnesses can be brought on Friday and they can proceed in the view of what the court has just indicated in the concern that the judge president has in respect of how this case is being conducted. I mean, Mnisi wanting to rush the process. Mr. Anonymous, what did you think about Mnisi now jumping in to say that, hey, it's time to move? The judge president, do you think what is happening to Judge Maumela is kind of freaking them out? What is happening?
No. I think Mnisi is right. It's annoying how we have stop and goes. We should continue with the case.
So he said,
I mean, this case is useless as things stands. I mean, to prolong it further, it's pointless. We just go straight to where the judge is giving the judgment, where he finds these 2 people guilty and whatnot. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that we continue, see what is coming next.
So the state indicates that they requested that after this last witness has testified, they adjourn until when they come back on the second quarter, which would be the 15th of April, in order to enable the defense to consult with their expert witness. So this is true that they would love to consult with their expert witness, but there's nothing again as far as he's concerned that bars them from consulting that witness even on Saturdays or in the afternoons. He's amendable at any time. That's what Mnisi said, and they have consulted with him even in the afternoon. He suggested that they continue throughout the recess unless the court finds it difficult, and the judge said that he can sit even at night. They should not worry about that. So Ngumalo said that he's available on Friday except weekends and public holidays, and the judge said one day Ngumalo would be a judge. Then he doesn't want to work on holidays and weekends. And Ngumalo said that he will sit if he's asked to do so. Mnisi asked if Mngomezulu would be available on Friday, and Baloyi said that he did say that he'll be available on Friday. So Mshololo agreed with the state that they should continue on Monday. He texted Baloyi, but
you see how
text the judge.
How Baloyi and Mshololo always find each other in agreements. That baffles me. Baloyi wants Monday. Mshololo also would be happy with Monday. I mean, anything that takes more time for me, that's basically what I'm pointing out.
Remember the time that she said she had just found out about docket 375 and she needed 3 months to go through it.
And then later we find that this person has been with this case for the longest time.
They said it's a lie. She's always known about it. And even in the court, Baloyi was saying that there was an attorney that Mshololo had sent. It was given to that attorney. We had to wait 3 months
for that, and then and the question someone is asking is that can they put these cases together? It's too late for that.
Yeah, it's kind of.
We've been crying about that for long.
From the beginning.
And
a lot of people didn't understand the struggle. They didn't understand what we were talking about.
It's too late for that. If they do now, that, they would have to go de novo. If now they do it, they would have to go de novo.
Again.
Because those people were in the house. If they are arrested, they would come with their defense. And their defense would have to recall everyone
yes.
that has testified.
Yes. So it will be another de novo.
So it's another de novo, and we know what de novo does. It corrects some of the mistakes.
They should have just handled them together, 375 and 636.
And
like
that
this.
goes straight to Baloy's door and the DPP.
So the judge said,
how can they make a high school mistake of having two dockets that were that were investigated about the same problem and eventually not make it one docket? Instead, they try to reduce it into a junior recommendation, and eventually they accept it.
So yeah, the judge was bothered by the fact that Mngomezulu texted Baloyi, but he did not text the judge. And he said that the matter will be postponed to Friday, even though the JP, the judge president, will think that lo judge, lo uzobambitoho lapha.
Yeah, even the confession, Nisi was fighting against the confessions.
Yes.
Mshololo was happy for them to be read on record. All of them.
All of them. In fact, she wanted all of them details to be read into the record. She was more than happy for that. Okay, guys, I have some breaking news or some extra news that came and popped on my timeline today. The Black Lawyers Association says that it will be writing to Judge President Dunstan Mlambo following comments by Judge Ratha on some black lawyers. So, is this how some black lawyers behave, is what he asked. And it seems like the Black Lawyers Association is not
catching strays. I heard what they've been. Who's that head of? Who's been speaking a lot on in that meet? Yeah, they deserve it.
Hi guys, you can call in. You can let us know.
They surely deserve it. It's okay.
What you think and feel for today's proceedings. They were very short, but oh boy, I got what I needed. So yes, as I look for the judge, what is it? The Black Lawyers Association, the head of the Black Lawyers Association.
We have a first caller here. Zandile Reality, hello. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Anonymous, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Emily, how are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm good. It's me.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Okay.
Something is not giving.
What is happening? Is it a WhatsApp call?
Yeah, it's a WhatsApp call. Right, I'm going to take the next caller. Zanzi, hello? Oh. Zanzi, hello?
Hello, Mr. Anonymous. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you also clearly, Mr. Anonymous. Yeah, you are speaking to Mr. Anonymous here.
Yes.
I'm sorry I didn't catch up the case today, but I just want to go back to the issue of Teifu. If we can remember, when Teifu was in court, he didn't want to completely pull out of the case.
Yes.
He wanted to be behind the lawyers and assist somewhere, and he didn't want to get paid in a case. So I think he wanted to do that because of some few reasons. And also when he was raising some points, people, they didn't take him serious, and people, they thought he's mad. Hence he even went for psychology test. But now, if we go along with the case, you can see where that guy, whatever he was talking about, now starting slowly but surely to reveal itself. I will just make an example with Mr. Mshololo, Miss Mshololo, sorry. When she came into this case, she was fire. She was on fire. She didn't want to hear anything. But now she's been neutralized. I don't know what is happening with Mshololo. And you are also raising that point where there is something fishy about Mshololo. Even myself, I'm not happy anymore with all those guys. I'm only seeing Mngomezulu fighting alone. I think Mngomezulu is fighting alone because if you can check, because I just watched a short clip today when they were addressing that thing, Audrey is not present today. So the way the guys painted Mngomezulu, it was totally wrong. If you are playing we are playing with somebody with the same team. The way they presented him, it was totally wrong. I understand. Yes. And also, I'm happy that Emily, he raised something and Mr. Anonymous didn't take it into consideration. That Mshololo, he was once, I don't know if she's still into the royal family legally activities. I don't know if she's still in, but she was once there. And if you can remember quite correctly, there was the conflict between the royal families, and then there were some killings involved there. And guess who was the suspect? I'm not going to raise the name, but I'm just going to give you a test for you to go and do a research. Guess who was the suspect on those killings? And now guess Mshololo ukuthi umele bani ecourt. So something is fishy here. Something is very, very fishy. And Tefu, he raised a lot of things. And sometimes I used to go to some of Tefu's interviews. That guy is having a lot of information. I think that's why they are keeping him in jail, because they don't want him closer to this case, because that guy is having plenty of information concerning this case. So I think as the nation, we need to go and apologize to that guy and give him a chance just to tell us what happened, because that guy is having a lot of information. This is a guy that can give us a lot of information. Tefu, the guy that as a nation we said is mad, and one of the political parties, they even went into television and they said Tefu, the way he's handling himself is unprofessional. But the guy was raising his voice for a right thing. But now things are revealing itself. And no one now is going back to the guy and say, now we are seeing what you were talking about. I thank you, Mr. Anonymous.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes. It's not that we are ignoring that thing and not that we didn't have that information. We have. Hey, guys, this is South Africa. Some of the things are better brushed off. Because, other people, it's hard. Have you ever talked to someone who is blind?
Totally.
Blind, 110% blind.
I have.
When you try to reason with that person, you end up revealing things that are not supposed to be revealed in your platform. So the best thing is to just, in passing, and continue. Mzansi, hello.
Yebo njani?
Sikhona njani?
Sikhona.
Yeah.
No, ukhuluma nomfoka Mdluli ngila empangeni. Ngicela ukubeka nje nami ngomageba u2 cent wami nje nami. Nikhona Emily uyaphila sisi?
Hawu ngiyaphila.
No, siyaphila nathi. Yithi ngidlule nje kancane Mr Anonymous. Ngifuna ukuvumelana nalensizwe oqeda ukuphuma manje.
Yeah.
Uyabona ngasesayidini lika Mshololo. Umshololo umele accuse number 5. Odonza o life sentence about 6. Lo muntu uyafana nokuthi ufile hamba. Yabo. Ngo. Everything I'm saying is alleged. Kuyafana. So umshololo ngosuku ukhokhela u33,000. So lo muntu accused number 5 odonza life about 6. Uyithatha imali engaka ukhokhela umshololo. For what good reason?
Is that a fixed amount that she should get? It's not negotiable.
Or it's not negotiable.
Okay.
Kodwa nje but uma ibuka for what good reason ukuthi angakhokhela umshololo imali engaka noma angaharisha i-lawyer a private what do you call it kodwa nje umshololo bese ngibuya ngizibubo bonke from Ramosepele ngize kumnisi ngize kunqumalo ngibona ngathi bonke sebedlalela i-team A1 oyi-state. Umuntu osesele uyi-1 uMngomezulu.
Yeah.
Because firstly kuqala uRamosepele wayekade edlalela i-team eyodwa benomngomezulu. Not knowing ukuthi le 3 le idlalela enye i-team engadlalelwa yibona. So njengamanje kuyaziveza ukuthi ke i-target la uNtanzi. I feel sorry for that young guy ukuthi vele is going down and i-verdict vele isikhona already. uNtanzi is going down. Irrespective ukuthi ubufakazi buyamfaka endlini noma bumfake kodwa nje he is going down because lento iplenwe kudala lento le. Thusento wami loyo ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga.
Thank you.
Those are your views, and then also it is alleged. Important. Next caller. Zanzi, hello.
Hello, Mr. Anonymous.
We're good, sir. How are you?
How are you?
I'm all right.
All right, so I know I was speaking to Polani.
Yes.
And I just want to say everything that I'm going to say is been alleged. As the court business. Yeah, I'm looking at this case. I'm very worried about few things that if both the lawyers and the justice, you see, and the police, there are some different things that even as Mzansi reality show, I don't know how to call it. We've got some information that we are not exposed at it. I want to just make an example, or I just want to see the difference of the legal aid person. I mean, a lawyer and the lawyer that is not under legal aid. I might probably differ in terms of perspective with Mr. Anonymous of seeing things today. It has been worried me since I think 2 days when we had a show. I remember that last show was good, but the last person ruined it, and then I was worried. I was trying to call and all that stuff. I wanted to fix this because there's things that I wanted to say back, but now based on this proceeding of today, I just want to comment on it. Maybe once I've got time, I can come back. But one thing that I just want to highlight and give you a difference between Mngomezulu and this lawyer Ramosepele. Ramosepele is under legal aid, and Mr. Mngomezulu is excluded into that panel, if you still remember. Now, what is the difference between the two of them? There are things that cannot be unfolded because they know this proceeding is in public. There are things even Mngomezulu cannot say that in front of, because if you still remember, Mngomezulu said, the legal aid said they are not going to pay me for all the work that I've done. What does it say to you? Let me just put an example of what Mngomezulu was trying to say. Mngomezulu is trying to say when you are in legal aid, there are some what you call exclusions. We call it exclusions when let's say Mrs. Emily, if you got what you call workers' life attorneys, like you are at court, then you apply those independent lawyers, workers' life or law for all, you see, or Scorpion. Those or Scorpion and stuff, you might find that I find it out. I've got law for all. Law for all is been under ABSA. It's a company that has been created by ABSA, and then they hired lawyers. And there, if you pay that 100 rand or 160, you get a lawyer there to stand for a case in court. There are exclusions. You take that lawyer. If you take that lawyer, they will go and present you there. If ever you want your own lawyer, not from the panel of Workers' Life, now they will give you a certain amount of money, saying that we're going to give you 25,000 or 6,000, and then the rest of that lawyer requirements you will pay it yourself. What does that mean? It's exactly what happens between Mngomezulu and Ramosepele. Ramosepele is good, but is under the obligations of or exclusions of when they go to chambers of being told by legal aid. Because remember, legal aid, the payment, it comes from what you call the state. You see, so it's difficult for him to fight very well. That's why you could see at that time Mngomezulu was being paid by the illegal aid, was like quiet. You were very worried. Remember that? You were very worried why Mngomezulu is like now calm. You are like being cut somewhere, somehow your hands are now like being cut if you are under legal aid, because legal aid is being funded by the government. So there are some exclusions. There are things that you cannot go further. That's why you see Mngomezulu now is very I don't know. You see a wheel which comes comes out from a running vehicle. It even past that vehicle, go far from the speed of that vehicle. If you can see when there's the wheel that comes out from that vehicle. So I'm not sure whether am I making sense to you guys, but I'm trying to say, irrespective of, you see that Mr. Ramosepele is now no more matching with Mngomezulu, and you might see sometimes even that time that Mngomezulu said that I quit for legal aid, I'm gonna be paid. He said on the submission of the trial, within the trial, that my lord, we and Ramosepele said that we are going to make one submissions, because at that time, before this thing has been separated by accused number one, me just representing number one. We at the trial, within the trial, we were together. So the submission, you see that if ever Mngomezulu had a problem with Ramosepele, we wouldn't have even lived this message today that Ramosepele has to proceed with me. They are still together, guys. I'm just putting my own version, allegedly, with everything that I'm saying. I'm putting my version, but I want you to know that I'm working for SAPS, and I know what legal aid does, and I know these private lawyers does. And for instance, if I can put, before I give to another people, if I say to, if you, Mr. Anonymous, go to court and there's a serious case, would you prefer to be presented by a legal aid or presented by your own attorney, which you are going to pay? Obvious answer, the one that is going to pay you, because everyone knows that legal aid has got limits to argue your case, because he's not going to kill the same state that is paying. I don't know whether I'm making sense.
Oh, you're making sense.
That's my definition. Thank you very much. Let's continue this.
Thank you.
Wow. So can we say that...
Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Anu.
Yeah, good, sir. Can you reduce the volume a bit?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. You can shoot.
Oh, you can hear me.
Yes.
Look, Mr. Anu, good evening, everybody, and maybe you.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been with you like for long, since this trial started. I've been with you guys, commenting there and there, following you there and there. There was one time I told you guys I'm really disturbed about the defense, the way they are working. Then I said to you guys, I see that they are not together, they're not working together. And now, since before that divorce interview, it's coming to show that Ramosepele, Monisi, Mngomezulu and Mshololo, they've got something here. Remember, Dinida said Mshololo was in court for
accused
was in court at the Boxback, and Mjiako was there.
Yes.
But the time when they were asking about Mjiako, the cross-examination about Mshololo didn't say anything. Why didn't he enlighten the court that Mjiako was there, or what was happening with Mjiako? She didn't say anything. She kept quiet.
Even Brigadier Kininda was like, Mshololo was there. I remember.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we were all surprised when Ginida said, yeah, even Mshololo was there in court when Jaku was there. And she didn't say anything. So are we going to say Advocate Sipho is mad? Are we going to say Advocate Sipho is talking out of jealousy? It's not, because remember what Sipho says in the beginning. When they hired Sipho said to them, guys, I'm not going to charge you anything. I'm not going to charge you. I'm going to do this free of charge. All you have to do is just to give me petrol money. That's what he said. So can somebody like an advocate take a case without getting paid, just like that? And now we're saying that what he's saying is maybe abnormal. What Sipho is saying is true. It's completely, it's true in its, I don't know, two colors. There's nothing that Sipho said. Sipho can't say this. If you can follow who is Sipho, guys, in the first place, what did we do as the public? We said Sipho is abnormal. We said Sipho doesn't know what he's talking about. And now we realize that no, but this guy, Sipho was really, that is why they made him to be arrested so that they can strip him out of his profession. It was deliberate. So what I can advise the accused now here, it's let them, from Mosepele, Munisi, each and every accused must go for his own legal, they must just fire these guys. It's only Mngomezulu that is there. But the others, I'm telling you, I mean, you can see, even you guys, you shout and say, but why didn't you go and then pin in this question? And, you know, there were so many loopholes. Emily and Mr. Anu, if you were lawyers or attorneys, you were going to win this before even we go to trial within a trial. Because you have facts like, why can't they do this? Why can't they do that? Why can't they do this? And we are asking ourselves those questions. So we can see that what Sipho is saying, it's really true.
Yeah.
How it's going to pan out, I don't know. But all I can say is the accused just need to fire these guys, get the people that are independent, that are not, influenced. These guys are captured. I'm telling you, they are captured. That's all I can say. Sharp guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the information is alleged, and you will never see me near any courtroom in South Africa.
They are saying, let us talk about the proceedings. Can we get a caller that's gonna talk about these proceedings, and also limit the what we call what is this unfounded stories. Let us focus on. What do you think of what happened to them? Zanzi, hello.
I know it's difficult, but we have to.
Dumela ndatani mas.
Say, ujwang
ore. Udele ka ndate.
Ari tsui.
Se emele amote.
Age, le kae?
Udele ka sister.
Teng.
Ndatani mas na ke tsebe ndate Ratha o lela. Hobane ndate Mngomezulu. O tshwarisitswe ke yona case enana hobane ba mo tshwarisitse so o tlamela attend case eo la sa tena yona ba tlamela ya attend jwale ntho ba elela ke ba skalla so no tsere ke ba bone lo ba tshintshile ka ofela ba tshintshile le bolo re tse ka le mo minisi no tse ba buta dipotso no tsene ba bone re na no tsene di a hlaela taba tsa bona no tsene be ena nna ke tiisitse bafana ba ha ba itrongong baone le gale justice molambo no tsene o kwatile ba tshuile ka ofela batho bao hobane ba tseba ngei bona jalo re etsa toti mona constitution ya South Africa ba itlhompe batho bao o ka ba lawyer e ka ba le polisa e ka ba magistrate a ba tshosho tlhompe ko constitution na batho bao just imagine batho ba tshwere Switzerland ha o tshwere batho ba bedi bona ba pesa di phone ka mona le o tshwere ka dieta tsa dieta tse kwang instead or nande ke ba latele procedure ya molao theo gore okay constitution e re ba ke the application request e batle batho ba tle kwang bona ba tetse di phone molao theo wa sebetsa. That's why wona ile malao wane bushiri ka constitution ba tlo khota molao theo wa 1920 malawa ha eno dumela motho a no ta mona South Africa molao theo ha ba o sebedisi wa bona nna ke ha ke batho bua le bitso la motho mara una nda tomu wa le fokisi le holo la case nana wa bona ha ka kena ha ka mo a fumana access a bua le mosadi yaka mosadi o ke mo divorce at clar wa bona motho mosadi o tla tshita totalate all or o tla tshwarisa o tla khona o tshita o mastrata a tshita maponisa a hey a tshita le lawyer o kotse hey o kotse haholo le ponisa le thata leo a ke batho bua le bitso la hae Dagi,
Ratha go twena mara go ibega jwalo mara hamonat you just
straight to the point
and you don't bring people's name. Guys, yeah, I'm sorry if you could not hear, but yeah, now I could hear.
Summary, yes.
I could hear. This man is.
Where do I start?
You start with
that they're accused that not going to jail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The constitution is working. All of them are now shaking because of Judge President. And
yeah, no, I shake. Why did you keep quiet? Indeed, why did you keep quiet for this long? Eh?
Why?
Someone who's wrong preside over a case, you keep quiet.
You keep quiet.
You don't correct that thing right there.
No.
And then today, you are here telling us that this person was not. It's already, it's damaged, the case. The case is damaged. We are from de novo because of the very same person that you could have corrected from the beginning.
And remember, before de novo, he had actually accepted 375 that portions of it be used. And then de novo, they're like, no, we are only working with 636.
Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hello, guys.
Hi, sir. How are you?
How are you guys? How are you?
We're good, sir.
Good. Just a couple of comments.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be upset and against the defense right now. And I think it's a lesson for in any workplace you work in, is that when you are fighting against something and people are watching, those people who are watching end up going against you if they are not happy with what's going on.
Yes.
Right? If you look at the two main attorneys who have really, in inverted commas, fought in this case, where are they now? Where was Mngomezulu today? Where was he yesterday? So, but you're going to, where's Sipho now? But then we expect that these other guys to put their lives at risk on the line for three people who are already convicted criminals. I understand 1 and 2 are, in inverted commas, not convicted criminals, especially for number 2. But number 1 is convicted for crimes related to his arrest here. So now these guys must put their families' livelihoods and fight hard when we all know where this is going. I think we are being unfair when we're going so hard at them. Another thing is we don't know what's happening in the background. We have no idea. But all I can see is that a black woman who's often in this world, not just this country, is the least supported. Everyone is going at her. Everyone. Like if you're a black woman, you must work twice as hard than everyone else. And still people are going after her. I don't know. Those rumors might be true. We don't know. We've got no evidence. We don't know. But at the same time, I just pass a word of caution that we need to be careful when we're looking at such things, when we're looking at the defense and people are being personal. If you check on the YouTube chat where people are saying all those things, they're really crazy. You know, the people are really going wild at Advocate Mshololo. The other thing is, I think the previous caller mentioned about with the judge president. For me, he's throwing Maumela under the bus. You telling me that he couldn't stop when Maumela started this case and say no and waited for it to go months and months and months. Now he's throwing him under the bus. He's in charge. You can stop things. If you are the boss of your company and things are not going well, you stop things. You don't just wait and watch and say, no, the horse had bolted, and you leave it like that. You do something, you intervene. Anyways, those are just my 2 submissions. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
He says we were all surprised when we saw him.
All we would need to say is, I understand people always say, I would like to reply to this one, that there is a lot happening behind the
scenes, yeah.
scene. But if that is the case, from your conscience, and you see that is actually going to disturb your client from getting proper representative, then why don't you leave? You staying, then you automatically become part of it if there was something happening, because you are helping that thing.
And there's
from
no
happening.
way that the public will overlook that. Just excuse yourself if you feel like,
you cannot do your job properly because maybe there are things that are happening.
You're compromised, or
but
you are
we are talking about people's life here.
Move away. Unlike assassinating
no
your
one
character
is
that
holding
you worked very hard
holding
for.
you at gunpoint to say, don't move, move. You will tell us the story one day that, hey, that case, when it's done,
yes, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was happening. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 was I had to. Even advocate, therefore, when the pressure. I know people are making an example to say that whatever. Even therefore, let us not forget that therefore withdrew when it was getting too much for him, and perhaps his family was now not safe. He decided perhaps I should just let it go. It was difficult.
Or
we were
maybe
all upset.
People said, we are letting you go. There are many reasons.
There are many reasons. But he withdrew. When it got too much, he withdrew. So I don't understand why other people would not do that. They would rather take their money, or they would rather do something else. They would rather... And then we are expected to not say anything.
And in this case, the issue of a woman and a man and whatnot.
She's
for me,
a black woman.
It's one of those things. Here we are talking about, how lawyers are. It's eat or be eaten. And if we see the situation of that points to you enjoying eating, but you don't want to be eating,
we must not say anything.
You must not say it just because, okay, this is a woman. That I'm not saying color is, but I want you to look at that. I never forgot the time where I thought SABC is going out. Mshololo was there.
To not see.
Mshololo helped the court. I can even point the person.
I can even point. She was doing too much.
I remember that. And today, he tells the court on a personal phone between Mngomezulu and herself. She even says this is a personal thing. She brings it in court. Now, should we fold the arms? The court, you see what the papers are saying. Let me just read the one heading for you that was written about that Mngomezulu. If you say
defense lawyers no show in Senzo Meyiwa trial raises the I can't see properly. Raises the air of the judge. That's a headline.
It's a headline. Then you go to the other one. It says, "Is this how black lawyers behave? Judge in Meyiwa's trial blast the no-show lawyer." We see where I'm going with this. Someone is being blasted because of what you revealed in court.
Oh yes.
Do you understand?
Oh yes. And
so is it okay?
What happened today has happened before with other lawyers.
Is it okay?
But it's being made a big deal because it's Mngomezulu. And we know are saying
he could be dealing with the issues that emanated just when he entered on this case.
It is not unique and special. Him not being able to show up.
What I do not agree with is when the knife only uses one side to cut. The knife must cut both sides.
Both sides.
And we must accept that the knife is going to cut. It mustn't be that when it's going to cut the other side, after you've used it to cut on the other side, now we start looking at what are we cutting? Are we cutting a mango or an apple?
And it's amazing how people want to feel sorry for Mshololo, but Mshololo knows the job that she's in.
She knows.
Mshololo picked the job that she did with her conscience.
Let me make an example.
She has made peace with it. I don't understand why now we must, be soft and treat her like a an egg.
Let me make an example.
She picked to be defense counsel. She was a prosecutor. She chose not to be a prosecutor anymore and become a defense attorney. She knew it was not gonna be easy when she picked it, but she still did. And she's built for it. You can see even how she acts that she made a conscious decision. So I don't understand why now we must be gentle and and treat her like a lady, and I feel like she will also be offended by such. I feel like it's not something that she would want a preferential treatment because she's a woman. She just wants to do her job, just like the rest of the defense counsel are doing their job. And for a very long time, I have admired her from a distance to say that, wow, a black woman and whatnot. But how she has handled herself, she's built for the job that she has chosen. Even with Ratha shouting at her and all of those things, you saw how she reacted. She knows exactly what she got herself into. And every day is a fight, and she's fighting it. So I don't understand now we must be scared to criticize because she's a black female lawyer. If you are going to go into professions that are hardcore like this and expect people to feel sorry for you because you are a black female, I think again.
Black excellency is appreciated anywhere. Let me make an example. We're going to eventually go to the video where we're going to analyze that woman, Dubazana. Sorry for butchering his surname, Mngomezulu. Dubazana.
I don't even know why you're saying it because we have a problem.
No, but I have to because I want to bring that point. It's fine. The analysis she gave.
Mm-hmm.
Fair analysis from a lawyer. I'm going to the people that have been saying, hey, you guys, you compare those analyses to what we've been saying without law degrees to those who've been saying, hey, look at what she said.
We will talk about it. We have to. We must. Because it's important. If a lawyer is saying it, it's definitely important to Mzansi reality.
So we appreciate people who are honest. And anyone who's honest must be appreciated. But also we must not forget that the law in South Africa is created such that there is a room for people to come and persuade you before you even do your job.
Yes.
And we're not saying that anyone did that to anyone, but I'm just saying,
this is South Africa.
when things are happening the way they are happening, it makes one want to stand back and look and say, how can that happen?
Mzansi la. Ke Mzansi mo assistate mo. I know it's sad, but this is the situation that we're in, and we cannot overrule it. We cannot act like it's not happening. Most of us have been in positions that are similar to this.
Hello, Mzansi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you guys, how are you doing?
Doing great.
Yeah, great.
Emily, how are you doing?
Hi.
Siyabonga ngomsebenzi eniwenzayo.
Thank you.
Yeah, ngifuna ukubeka nje wami umbono. Ujaji he was just testing waters. He just wanted to see how united the judge is scared, is being challenged by Mngomezulu. Ujaji ile elibona lingamelana laye laphana ku-defense Mngomezulu. All these ones akalandaba nabo ubefuna nje ukubona nje ukuthi ba-united kangakanani and bafola ku-trap bazibonisa ama-characters abo ukuthi anjani. So they're not trusted anymore. They are not trusted, and see, we are very disappointed. Ramosepele it's not a strong character. I mean, I doubt ukuthi yena wafuna ngubani or family ika ntanzi lo muzi, I don't know.
Yeah.
Titi was better than this one.
Your lordship.
Akalay ama-grounds if akakhoni uyesaba ujaji. Every time when examine i-witness uyabheka ujaji. Every time uyesaba ulokwesaba uthize. Mshololo, do you remember Mshololo ukwazama defender accused number 1 and 2 ubaloyi wasukuma wathi I don't know ukuthi Mshololo now usemele accused number 1 and 2 yini. From that time Mshololo azange abe active. I don't know ukuthi lo waloyi bavumelana ukuthi it's like kule agreement abayenzayo le state nomshololo. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Limbono nje bengifuna ukuyibeka.
Thank you.
Siyabonga.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Zandile.
Good evening, Mr. Anonymous.
I say, how are you?
Emily, how are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, just my name is, just call me the Hidden Observer. I'm calling from Australia.
Yes.
And just want to say thank you guys for the update. I've got a few points that I just noted here.
Yeah.
The first one is we all thought Sipho was a loose cannon, but following what we heard yesterday about how Mngomezulu ended up in that case, then you might be tempted to believe that Sipho is not a loose cannon after all. Then that will go straight to say who therefore was behind the people who pushed Mngomezulu to take up the case. Then you hear another one of the lead investigators saying, well, Baloyi was part of the group that determined which docket to pick up. And then you ask yourself, if Baloyi was part of that group that determined which docket to pick, and he picked up this docket that has no evidence against the accused people, but somehow the case is still holding. Don't you think that it's now obvious that these boys will be convicted?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I remember yesterday, Mr. Anonymous, you raised the question why Ndanzi is made to play a part in his confession. That actually is a pointer to the fact that the issue of the 3 million bribe offered to Ndanzi might actually be true. Because if you look at the part that he is made to play in his confession, it's small, it's minimal. He is made to look like an amateur Ingabi who regrets this, who ends up being threatened. But he did what he said, I was told, as long as you implicate all the necessary people. We'll give you the money and probably you go to prison for a little bit, because his part is not like, he says I didn't have a gun. He didn't pull the trigger. He's just playing a more refined version of Zungu, just putting people at the right place at the right time. So yeah, that's the other point I wanted to put, that Ndanzi actually might have been offered a bribe. That's true. Then I wanted to just quickly say that the judge, after actually accepting and admitting these confessions against all those constitutional violations, you sit down there and you are like, where are we going? Is this case going anywhere?
Yeah.
He's going to convict these kids for a case they didn't do. Anyway, that's my contribution, guys. I need to go. I'm at work. I'm just about to be caught fidgeting on my mobile phone. Keep the good work, guys.
Thank you. Quickly.
Thank you. Drop quickly. Bye. Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Of course.
Did I just press? I said today.
Was it sent today?
Hi, Emily and Mr. Anon.
Oh, you have to do that. Drop. Zanzelo?
Sanibonani.
Yeah, what's up, then?
Ninjani?
Happy.
Yakufani, Ben.
Hayi uthi ujaji angifuni wathi ngigwabele esageni.
Yeah. He says
but uyenza yona lento. Ubagwebela esageni. Yeah, ubagwebela esageni vele. Ngoba namanje abazi boMngomezulu, after he did so well, even in his argument, but he doesn't know where he failed, because ujaji angaphanga reason uthi why avumela lama confession.
Yeah.
Manje ubagwabela segini vele ngoba bazi lutho uthi what was his reason. Yabona.
Yeah.
So namhlanje ngibona into ku advocate Mshololo yangikhumbuza ngesikhathi sotefo. Ngoba utefo uba busy alwa noma umela, hayi Mshololo alwa lapha ahleka. Sorry, she was smiling that time. I remember when Tefo wanted to go to trial within a trial, she said no, it's not a procedural, but he was right, Tefo. But he said no, it's not procedural to go to. They must. The state must do that. But today I saw the same picture, even though Mngomezulu was not around, but they were happy, man, to throw him under the bus. And I'm asking myself these days, how in this court of Ratha, they don't go to chambers.
No.
We have to hear everything in court.
Yes.
Because these issues of Mngomezulu were supposed to be
conversed
in chambers.
Yeah.
And then they come back and give us small details and give accused number one small details. Not this thing of, hey, he called me at 9:30, what.
Shouting in front of us, shouting at the lawyer.
Yeah, there's no chambers these days. And if it was Baloyi, we saw it because Baloyi brought the case of AK there, and he was left alone. But when Mngomezulu, and he did it deliberately because he wanted to see how judge react. And he just reacted, or no, we don't use gossip, but you let Baloyi to do that. Because this case is also managed in media. And the judge knows that. He doesn't, even if people say Baloy is good, Baloy always make mistake, but the judge doesn't want to show us in public. But when a defense make one mistake, hey, you're in trouble, man. Just like today, you were reading headlines of the newspaper there. You see, this case is being managed even so that we can say, no, this defense, what. But what I'm saying is that if we are going to say in South Africa, we have got law, our basic constitution, bazothini la ngaphandle amanye amazwe, bazothini eSwaziland, like the other caller was saying, bazothini eMalawi. Who can bring this citizen here to face these judges? Abantu bazoyenza icrime la babalekele kumazwe wabo, but those countries will say no, we can't bring our citizens. You rather come and trial them here in our country. Because, like, I want to know why they can't go in chambers and discuss some issues. But hey, with Ratha is happy to call our some black lawyers this what.
Very happy.
So all I want to say is that, hey, I don't know what's going to happen with Mngomezulu, but we pray he will challenge, because his personal challenges are affecting the trial. And it's amazing because in this court of Ratha, he goes with his pace. If the state can delay, it's okay. But when the defense have got some problem, no, we have to go. And he pushes, we have to go. Let's go.
Yeah, that's true.
We control the pace. Yeah, you know, if the state is delaying, like, he doesn't care. But if the defense wants some time, no, we have to go. Judge President will talk to me, will say, no, I'm not doing my job. But if the state can do everything, it's okay. So all I'm saying is that we are waiting. It's very, very disturbing what's going on in that court.
Yeah.
And I want to say, it's not like we or this channel, like, if they are doing well, the defense, we say no. Ramosepele was doing well today. Mshololo, she did well. Munis did well. This one. It's not like we hate them or what. The channel sometimes can criticize them. Sometimes you say no. Well done, Ramosepele. He did well. But if we see things, and some things, we have to call them. And it's unfortunate because there is that interview of devil. But to us, even before we hear that interview of devil, we already see, something is not right with the defense. And we are not following devil as a cult leader or following this channel as like, we think. And when we bring the issue of devil, it confirms what we are seeing in the court. It's not like we are following devil as a cult leader. We have our own mind and our own thinking. Yeah, this thing connects each other. You say, no, man, that's why I was also thinking about this thing. So it's not like we don't think for ourselves. We wait for devil to give us information. No, we can see. It confirms what we are seeing.
Yeah.
Like you, Anonymous, sometimes you will call no. But you have that with Mshololo. And sometimes you come back and say, no, Mr. Mshololo did well. So it's not like we are cult here. We are thinking. We have our own observation and our own opinion. But when it confirms each other, that's where we agree, and sometimes we will disagree. But it's not like we are in cult here. We are watching the trial and we are observing. So nobody hates Ramosepele, nobody hates Mshololo. When they are doing well, we say, well done.
Yeah, we do.
No, we do.
Yeah. So, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We do. Even when they do well, we let them know that today was good. So, Yeah, we don't criticize all the time, but
Zanzi,
when something
hello.
is wrong, we have to say something.
Hello, Sanmon.
Yebo.
Hello.
Hi.
Yebo, say, we can
Yebo,
hear you.
njani?
Shoot.
Baba. Hayi ngiyabulisa. Yebo baba. Ngibonge nokuphila kwenu. Sibonge nalo msebenzi eniwenzayo.
Sibonke. Siyabonga.
Case lena, with my own opinion, with my experience, I choose number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guilty because this charge is not fair. They want to close this at 375. This case is something enkulu abavikela abanye bazilutho. And if you can check ilogo zalentwana le intanzi next zemapari zebula abantu bayenze nje bayithatha bayifaka lapho bahlanganisa into zabo abantu bese namaphoyisa ogininda. And amaphoyisa mfowethu anokwazi ukwenza into ukuthi bakwazi ukuvala enye idokodo ngento engasikwazi ukuthi lo muntu wenze le robbery lo muntu lo muntu ubosha umuntu ongazi litho bamazi ukuthi la uyayenza yabona.
Oh my God.
Hayi uyaslahlekela mfethu. Uyaslahlekela we lost you. We are losing you. Internet. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I'm sorry. Maybe it's because of where I am. I'm a little bit far. I'm not in Africa, woman.
Yeah, I can.
You can hear me.
Yes.
What I'm saying about these 5 guys, I think the judge, the prosecutor, the investigating officers, they want to close the case. Yeah, Senzo Meyiwa. But those guys are not the culprit. As a police officer, they check the profile. But that I choose number 2. You can see Intwana A7 I will Intwana, which I can say is a robbery, is a murder, whatever. No. Those guys, all this evidence, if you see the evidence, DNA, it should have already thrown out that case. But ngoba there's into azinayo imali njalo muntu abayenza lento. Why bangabophi uKelly? Kelly won't gonna go down. Into yazi ukuthi hayi ngizoyikhuluma iqiniso, what happens this is this. Bayibona ukuthi bayenze iphutha umfaka uKelly kule ndawo. But it will hang them because they must arrest uKelly, and the Kelly won't asoza up to uKelly, and the inkinga ekhona manje ukuthi they will need to kill uKelly into le bayiqede le case lezi intwana abazigwebe into abazoyenza ngoba bangambopha uKelly will tell the truth what happened lapho ngase Force Loras. I understand that lento le.
Yeah.
Ngoba amaphoyisa njena akwazi ukuthi abophe umuntu ongayenzanga into, bathatha istatement bayifake lezi zinto. Ongabheka wonke amaphoyisa lapho onkapromotiwe wonke apromotiwe warrant from constable to warrant sergeant colonel brigadier ngoba kune something edlala ubheka icele lo, he knows what happened ngale case. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you. All is alleged.
Everything is allegedly.
Right, guys. Would I be justified to close now?
Anonymous, just on the last voice note you just played, could it be that it all had to do with the interpretation? If Ndanzi is not well conversant in English, the magistrate doesn't understand isiZulu. It could be that Ntanzi was answering what he knew, and then the interpreter would interpret what she was scripted to interpret. That is my thinking. Allegedly, of course.
Nice spinner there. Nice spinner. Ramosepele would cause the Ntanzi to go down. He just destroyed Ntanzi's only beam of proper representation. Throwing your colleague under the bus like that, it's appalling.
Hi guys. Just a few things that I want to emphasize on. I think some of the callers already said it, and I'm so glad because I thought I was losing my mind here. The JP, for instance, that procedure that they're following there, somewhere else there, is not to get justice into this matter. I think they stepped on each other's toes somewhere there, and now he has a score to settle with that judge on that part. That is my thinking, because nothing they did there spoke to bringing justice to this one of the matters, such as this one, which is also still being mismanaged, as we see every day in that courtroom. And then secondly, we will remember the day when Mngomezulu came on record as a private lawyer. It was as if Baloyi wanted to stop. He didn't expect that. And he wanted to stop that process. Like, we have to take into consideration affordability and stuff like that, because legal aid, I think, frustrated Mngomezulu out of this case by not paying him. That was a strategy. Legal aid is a tool of the state, and if we have been alleging that this case has been handled by the state will use its tools. So that caller put it very succinctly, that how will the state work against itself? And then the other thing is also, like Ramosepele and Mshololo and Ngumalo, I don't know what they did today. For me, it is they just played Mngomezulu dirty today. That's what they did. They played him dirty. There's no other way to look at it. I don't know. It's the same thing as us saying maybe Ratha will surprise us in the end. It doesn't exist. It just does not exist. So I think we are wasting our time here watching this case and hoping to get justice. The only positive thing about all of this is we really learned a lot during this process. We learned a lot. There are people who are calling in here and making absolutely valuable submissions. We were taught to search for the meanings of words and things that we never knew because we are not lawyers. I mean, some of the people that call in may be lawyers, but not all of us are lawyers who call into this program. So I think the only positive thing about it all is that we learned a lot, and that is the only reason for me. I think I'm continuing watching this case because we all know the writing is already on the wall. There's nothing here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that voice note. I will play this voice note and I will ignore the calls. I give chance to calls, I give chance to voice notes. So, Sizwe is mentioning things, name dropping. Please, guys, guide against those things. Refrain from name dropping, and everything said here it is alleged. And also, the views said by the callers are that of the callers. Let me hear another voice.
Good morning, Emily. Good morning, Mr. Anonymous.
Morning.
I just want to throw my 2-cent opinion on the proceedings of this Senzo Meyiwa trial. I think Advocate Mngomezulu is deliberately trying to sabotage the arrangements between what's happening in these proceedings. I think it's a deliberate move, because if we watch closely to Judge Ratha's conduct, Ratha is in a hurry for conviction, not to establish the truth in this case. And Advocate Mngomezulu has realized that. I mean, let's take a look in events where the defense needs time for preparations. They need time for consultations. They are not given enough time. He even used this sarcastic way of addressing it, like, how many years do you need? We can give you as much time as you need, but whenever the delay it's favoring the state, you will never hear from this judge. So I think Mr. Advocate Mngomezulu has realized and intentionally is trying to provoke the judge, because he always knows that when he's angry, he's going to say things that will back him up later for appealing and reporting his conduct after this case. So I think it's a deliberate move from Advocate Mngomezulu to disrupt this arrangement that's happening in these proceedings. Thank you very much, guys. It's my first time. I always wanted to come in. In most cases, I can't. I will be at work, and I don't find like some time to share my 2 cent opinion.
Welcome.
It's Isaac from Polokwane. Thank you, guys.
Isaac from Polokwane.
You're doing a very great job. Thank you very much.
Please like the video, guys. Like the video. I see we are on 472, 651. We at some point at 700. Please like the video. Next.
Good evening. I only wanted to ask a question. If Mngomezulu, during the cross-examination of Coroner, proved that it was not a confession, but it was statements that were taken, so does that not throw out the judgment or the ruling of the judge? I'm just asking. And by the way, sorry, good evening, it's Winston from Namibia. Okay, good evening, good night.
Okay, Namibia in the house.
Good evening.
Yeah, Winston from Namibia. You heard the question. Answer it on the comments.
Hi, Mr. Anonymous, Emily and Emily. You know, with this case of Senzo Meyiwa, it has exposed a lot of things that we never really knew are happening in South Africa, you know, especially when it comes to the issues of lawyers and judges. You know, it has exposed a lot of things, because of now it's clear that in the end, the truth is coming out about this case and what is happening. Coming back to the proceedings that were happening earlier today, when Ratha slammed black lawyers, you know, it's not easy being a black lawyer in South Africa, because of black lawyers are not having it easy. They have to fight white judges, Indian judges. They have to also fight black judges, as it's not easy for them to work. They are working under difficult conditions. I remember the interview that Advocate Titi Tobani did with Lelo Ndlovu, when he spoke about that. As lawyers, sometimes they need counseling. Now I can see why he was saying that, because of, hey, it's not easy to be a black lawyer in South Africa. It's not easy. Imagine have to fight a person like Ratha every day. Fighting a person like Abu Judge Maumela, you know, it's not easy for these guys. So I really hope, Gucci, this thing will be done. And I'm hoping that, you know, Black Lawyers Association will really stand up onto this matter, because of what happened today when with the slamming of black lawyers by Judge Ratha, it was not uncalled for. You cannot put all black lawyers under one umbrella. And we know that this case of Senzo Meyiwa, it's not a very easy case, especially for Mngomezulu. Since Mngomezulu came into this case, he's been having challenges. He's been having a lot of things happening. And we can see that whenever a lawyer comes into this case of Senzo Meyiwa, wanting to uncover the truth or wanting to fight for the truth, a lot is happening with that lawyer. We can take the story of Sipho, as now we see happening to Advocate Thulani Mngomezulu. And another thing with Mshololo, the signs were there, guys, in the beginning of these trials, when Advocate Mshololo was asking for non-stop postponements, and whenever Sipho was fighting with Judge Maumela, Mshololo was laughing, smiling and everything. Kanti hey, not us not realizing that there are so many things. And even prior to this Sipho interview, we could see that there's the whole lot of things that were happening in this case. And another thing is, this case is going to make other lawyers to be rich. It's going to make other lawyers to be known. It's going to make other lawyers to be useless. It's going to make other lawyers to be seen, to be fighting for the truth of exonerating those guys, especially accused number 1 and 2, that they were not part of the elimination of Senzo. We know that Senzo was eliminated by who? But because of there are so many things that are happening here. And also, we see that this case is also a cash cow for many people. There's people who are making money with this case. There's people who are going to enrich themselves. And again, the last point is the story of 3 million for Ntanzi. It's now coming clearer and clearer with the revelations of the slush fund from CI, crime intelligence, that it was indeed true that this man was promised the 3 million. That was taken from the slush fund of crime intelligence to pay him. And yet we know that the lead investigator rebutted the allegations that he doesn't have that kind of money lying around to pay witnesses or to pay people. But with the revelations that are taking place right now, we asking ourselves if it is true that the boy was promised to receive a lot of money. Thank you, Mr. Anonymous and Emily. Enjoy your day.
Thank you. All is alleged, and obviously we will play it as it is. But those are the views of the callers and the views of the person who sent this. The channel has no affiliation to that, does not agree or disagree with that. We don't. We just...
Hello, Anonymous and Emily. Yeah, this case is like related, like it's the same like my uncle when my uncle was get arrested with the thing that he didn't do when if I check it.
Could hear our voice at the back on the recording, but we continue.
Yeah, Mr. Anonymous. Whatever that is happening now, it is collaborating with what Sipho said. Another way you can say Sipho is a prophet. If we tell everything, even about those other lawyers, he just spoke about it, and now people that are seeing the light that no, Mngomezulu is on his own. He said exactly that. So if you can check these guys, they want to remove Mngomezulu on that case. Those are that doing whatsoever they can do in order to sabotage Mngomezulu. Firstly, it was the issue of the attempted murder. And now, mind you, they even tell they even tell the client of Mngomezulu that no, look, your lawyer is incompetent. He did this and this and this and this. And even the guy, he interpreted that deliberately, that Zulu guy. If you can listen to it, he detailed everything that Ratha was saying, not what Baloyi was saying, but he detailed everything that Ratha was saying about incompetency of Mngomezulu. But in all, Mngomezulu is a great lawyer, but there I don't see any other lawyer that can poke holes around that case. And if we can check around the issue of the admissible of the confession, the confession is not admissible. Why? Because the state must prove its case without no reasonable doubt. But here we got doubts whether were they tortured or not. And mind you, the witness, and then you look at the accused. Some of the information it collaborate. There is a witness that came out and spoke about Sibia going to change pens, and then Sibia said, I messed up on myself when they were busy torturing me. So that one can give you confidence that these guys, they were beaten. About the old municipality building, where were they going to do there? Is it the police station? It really collaborates that these guys were beaten. And that statement, it does not link.
Yeah, thank you guys. I think this is it. Please like the video. And we are bowing out in this style. I think we gave you a bit of extra time and we tried to cover everyone. And remember, this is a court of public opinion. All is alleged, and the views of our viewers, they are just those of the viewers. We are not affiliated or associated with the channel. They are just passing the message that whatever that they think, and it is alleged on their behalf, even if they forget, it is alleged.
Yes.
Please like the video and share the video, and obviously, guys, we emphasize minimize dropping names, more so big names. You know how it is. Just try to speak. We know people. Know if you use certain things, Mr. So-and-so, we know, man. We use these names on the streets and keep on using them like that, so that you avoid bringing this channel into
disrepute.
So please let us continue like that. And thank you very much for everyone. Edgar D. Okay, thank you Chuku Anna. Thank you Tuli D. Ngubani. We Sizum Gaga. Thank you very much. Let's see, Tembelani. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Tabiso M. Daung. Thank you, Snentlanta Pengu. Thank you. And it's a night time. Tembelani. Let me see if I can catch like few people before going at Lindam Kweban. Yes, thank you guys. Thank you Dimakato Dlamini. Thank you Simpiwe Ingwane. Thank you Simpiwe Ingwane. Thank you, one of the people who are always here towards Slanga. Thank you, our moderator now. Thank you everyone. I think that's Emily. I've covered my team. Olife, Ellen. Thank you Ntogozo. Dumiso Masengemi. Thank you. And Tulitus. Good night. Jacques. Thank you. Ntogozo, I've mentioned you. You are just lucky. I've mentioned you twice now. There are people who were missing here. Net was not here. Yoli, thank you. We saw you. Ansi Kemo, thank you. Lungwane, thank you. Refilwe, Molele, thank you. Just Dimagato. This is Dlamini. This is our member. Thank you.
Thank you.
Andrew Malamule. Thank you. That's Malebo. Thank you, Gift Nyat. Thank you. And the rest of the people. Super Knowledge Sharing Channel. Thank you.
Thank you.
And guys, stop this thing of giving people free shoutouts. We don't get shoutouts. We never got any shoutouts.
No, we don't.
Please, when you mention whatever that you got in a certain someone's, please shout out.
Don't mention other people's channels here.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's how it is, man. I mean,
it's tough.
We work from the ground. We started from the ground, and that's how it is. I mean,
we are not mentioned in their channels.
Yeah, we just do our niche. We start and people follow. So please respect us in that regard. No offense.
I know we don't express it, but now we are. Please. Don't give channel shout-outs. It's unnecessary.
Actually, the group companies, I hope I called you correct. Thank you. Lindan Dube, thank you.
Especially, like we do give channel shout-outs. I mean, if you really enjoy our content and you are always here.
No, if we do give shout-outs, it's not even limited to you enjoying our channel. If we resonate with your channel, we must resonate with your channel. If I watch it and I see that it's a really good channel, that is organic, that is, I'll give you a shout out. I have mentioned Mngomezulu here without them being here. I've mentioned many people because they're really good channel. You know, there are channels that you see genuine.
And obviously, if I do use your stuff, I have to mention it.
Yeah. And that is after normally we contact people that we use their stuff. We don't just go in and take, and we normally contact people that we use their stuff.
We ask for permission.
For permission because we do not want to step on anyone's. So if you come and now start mentioning we are entangled now in whatever, that no, we just want to be independent as we have been, and
grow.
No fights, no nothing. We don't get into fights. We don't get into fights. We don't get into channel fights and all those things. Respectfully, we ask you to minimize mentioning people's channel here, not without their consent also. Thank you.
So that we continue to work in peace and harmony.
So bye.
Bye, guys.